Okie dokes. Let's start, Anne. Okay, I hope everybody's settled in. Hi, everybody. I'd just like to welcome you to the webinar for today. And just as an introduction, I'd like to just tell you a bit of about Charter Business College. At Charter Business College, we provide high-quality programs that support the career objectives and goals of all working adults. We want to help increase opportunities for our students through cost-effective, multimodal, and adult-friendly qualifications. We're committed to helping you make a meaningful contribution to your workplace and society as a whole. This will be done through supporting your learning goals and the application of this to your organization. So let me just tell you a little bit about Charter. We were incorporated in 2003 as a professional business college, part of the Workforce Holding Group. We're registered with the Department of Higher Education and Training as both a private higher education institution and private further education and training college. We are CETA accredited with our primary accreditation with Bank CETA, as well as ETDP, CETA, Services CETA, Facets, and ATSA. We also offer QCTO qualifications as we're accredited with the QCTO. We're also accredited with the CHE to offer our Bachelor of Business Administration degree with 4 streams. Our delivery mode for all of our programs is either online, blended, face-to-face. So let me just tell you a little bit about our host today, who is Anne Swart, our academic manager and internal moderator. Anne is a life coach and an experienced educator, financial planner, and all-round superstar. She has years of experience. I won't give away her age by saying how many now. And she will be taking you through the RPL process and answering any questions you may have. Over to you, Anne.
Thanks, Sika. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to this RPL webinar regarding RPL. And Sika should have actually said he doesn't want to tell you how young I am. If anybody can guess how old I am, then you can get a free course at Charter Business College, or you can win a trip to Hermanus. But then, of course, there's T's and C's that apply to that. So what I'm going to take you through today is, if you look at the agenda, I'm going to just briefly tell you what RPL is about, which is known as Recognition of Prior Learning. I'm going to take you through the courses that Charter Business College offers through RPL, who is eligible for RPL, and the value of RPL. If there are any questions, you can kindly put them in the chat, or we can answer them at the end of the webinar if you don't mind. So if we just look at what RPL is, and I'm going to go through the SACRA definition of RPL. It is basically a process through which non-formal learning and informal learning are measured, which is mediated for recognition across different contexts, and it is certified against the requirements for credit, access, inclusion, or advancement in the formal education and training system or workplace. So that is the formal definition as per SACRA. So what does this actually then mean? So let's just have a look at the graphic that you see in front of you. So when we talk about formal education, we're talking about that's where you go to school, or you go to university, or you go to college, and you're sitting in a classroom and you are led by an instructor or facilitator or teacher, whatever you want to call them. And this is basically done in educational institutions. And you go through a period of time where you are busy with a qualification, for example, and at the end of that, you then achieve that particular qualification. However, all of us learn informally and non-formally. So if you look at the informal way of learning, and this is where we learn on a daily basis, we are having group discussions with each other, we are reading books, we're watching movies, we're watching videos, and we chat and go through our normal day. And in this manner, everybody is learning. Even if you don't believe that you're learning, you're actually going through a learning process. But obviously, at the end of this process, you are not achieving a qualification. We then also have what we call the non-formal way of learning. And this is basically takes place in a learning environment where there's some type of organizational framework. So in other words, if I can give you an example, if you look at seminars that we attend, there are instructors or presenters, and they are taking you through something that is organized, and you are learning from this. But after that seminar or forum that you've attended, you don't really walk away with a qualification. You may walk away with CPD points, for example, for some of those of us that have to go through CPD. And those are the three different forms of learning. So there's many of us in South Africa, around the world, not just only in South Africa, that haven't had the opportunity to go through to a college or a university and get a degree or a college diploma or whatever the case might be, for various reasons. But we have all learned informally and non-formally, and many of us have actually left school, whether it was in grade 10, in the old days we used to call it standard 8, so that might give away my age, or in matric you've left school and you've been unable to go to college or university, but you have learned informally and non-formally. You've maybe got a job, okay, and you've learned on the job, and that could be seen as non-formal learning as well. But now it comes to a stage, and you will probably agree with me in South Africa, that to get employment opportunities in our country at the moment, a lot of the adverts that you see in the newspapers or on Facebook or wherever you are looking for employment opportunities, you are seeing that they want qualifications and they also want experience. So you may only be coming with the experience part of that, and experience counts for a lot. But unfortunately, in many industries, they are wanting qualifications. Or you are maybe sitting in a job where you've got a huge amount of experience, years and years of experience, but you just do not have that piece of paper that says you've got a degree or some type of qualification. And without that, it is holding you back in the workplace. Because maybe the job requirements in your workplace are saying X number of years experience needed, and a BCom degree, for example. I'm just using that as an example. And that is holding you back in your career. And RPL is all about now understanding the value that informal and non-formal learning gives. And this is where you can then approach an organization like Chartwell Business College to say, hey, I have been in this job for many years, and I'm going to use a simple example of, for example, let's say you've been in a team leader or supervisory position. And you were placed in that position because you were a good performer and you were able to lead people, and so time went on. But now your job requires you to have a formal qualification. And this is where we then look at all the learning that has occurred. So maybe you have been on some formal courses. For example, you've been on short courses where you have got a few credits, for example, and you have learned on the job informally, etc., etc. So this all plays a vital role in you obtaining a qualification. So what it means is that we can recognize this. okay? It means that we will assist you in terms of mediation. So what mediation means is, if you are in the workplace and you have learned on the job, you may not have learned all the technical terms that are required in the particular position. And that is where some mediation can take place. And I'm going to give you an example later on when I tell you about some of Chartwell's successes. But mediation can take place. Obviously, we will then measure your knowledge and skill, and we have to assess you. So people misunderstand RPL sometimes when they think that RPL is an easy route to getting a qualification, that we can maybe just walk into your workplace and have a look at what you're doing, and then we give you a qualification. Unfortunately, it does not work like that. What RPL is all about is that we measure your current knowledge and skill that you have got through all these years of informal and non-formal learning, and we measure it against the actual outcomes of the particular qualification that you would like to achieve. So we do have to go through assessment for you to be able to achieve the qualification, which means that you will obtain the credits, and this will help you then in various ways in gaining access to other qualifications, getting a job promotion, getting a job, etc., etc. So that is what your non-formal learning and informal learning will eventually culminate in. So if we look at the programs that Chartwell in particular can RPL you against, we cover various industries. So we've got some qualifications in the financial services industry that you may be interested in the real estate industry, the education and training industry, the management and business industry. And then I'm also going to touch very briefly on our degree that we offer. And I do have Simon in the audience as well, who heads up our BBA faculty. So if you've got any particular questions on the BBA degree, sorry, can people just mute their mics? Thanks very much. So we do have a degree, as I said, that you can also RPL against to a certain extent. So if we look at the financial services industry, so I'm going to use an example here. You may have been working in banking for many years, or you maybe have been working in the insurance industry for many years, or in the microfinance industry for many years, but you just do not have that particular qualification that will give you that little piece of paper that you so desperately require. So we can RPL you against the microfinance qualification, which is at NQF level 3, the NQF level 4 microfinance qualification, the banking 4 qualification, the banking 5 qualification, and we also have the level 6 financial markets and instruments qualifications. And for those of you who are in the audience that are in the financial services industry, I'm sure you're quite fully aware of the phase, fit and proper requirements. And this is where you could come to Chartwell and you could say, hey guys, I've been in banking for 10 years, whatever the case might be. I need this qualification for phase, fit and proper requirements. How can you help me? And we can then obviously assess you to see if you qualify for RPL, and or not assess you, but it's like a pre-questionnaire and an interview that we take you through, and we will then determine if you're ready to be an RPL candidate. And we will then enroll you against the applicable qualification, and we will take you through the process for you to obtain your qualification. So that's for the financial services industry. If we look at the real estate industry, and maybe a lot of you are aware of this, but in the old days, if I can call it the old days, a lot of people were out there selling property. But legislation then came into being, and they said, sorry guys, if you're in the real estate industry and you want to sell property, you have to have a qualification and you have to work under supervision until you achieve that particular qualification. So you can imagine that a lot of these real estate agents got very nervous because they thought, well, what's going to happen to me if I now do not get my qualification? Well, the bottom line is if they don't get their qualification, they can no longer operate in the property sector. So we have got big groups. Pam Golding is one of our big groups of real estate companies that we work with. And we offer the real estate NQF level 4, and that would be for the real estate agent. They would do that particular qualification. And then we've got the principal that heads up the real estate agency, and they do the level 5 real estate qualification. So once again, they will then enroll. We will check to see if they're ready for RPL, and we will then put them through this particular qualification. And I know you're going to ask me now, well, what is the difference between RPL and a normal program-based qualification? And I'll tell you that in a little bit coming up. In the education and training industry, once again, for those of you in the audience that have been at your companies and you've been training other people and doing informal company assessments with them, you may want to consider a real formal career in the education and training industry. And you then can come to Chartwell and say, I've been training staff in my company for many years. I really want to formalize my knowledge and my skill. And that is where we can RPL you against the NQF level 5 OD ETDP qualification. It's got a very, very long name called the Occupational Directed Education Training Development Practitioner. Or you can RPL against the diploma. We do recommend that you rather start with the certificate and then get the certificate. And then if you want to, you can move to the diploma, where you will only have to then do a few of the subjects or unit standards, if that's what you want to call them, for you to get the diploma. The difference between these two, although they're on the same NQF level, is that the national certificate is at 120 credits and the national diploma is 240 credits. And this is the route that many trainers in an organization are going, where they're actually formalizing the fact that they are now qualified education and training practitioners. So those are the two qualifications that we offer under that industry. And then we've got the management and business industry. So probably maybe you've been in management, or you've been a supervisor or a team leader in your organization, and you don't have any formal qualification in this field. We then offer the generic management NQF level 4 qualification. And that is, I would say, for your more junior middle type management that would do that particular qualification. We've then got the generic management NQF level 5, which would be at a more senior level. If you are at a more senior level to RPL against that particular qualification. And then if you've been an administrator in your organization, and you would like, so I'm going to use an example. Maybe you've been a receptionist in your organization for many years, and you want to get some type of formal qualification. You may want to consider the business administration qualification, because this qualification would take you through how to book travel arrangements for your boss and how to book venues and all those wonderful things that a lot of times a receptionist might have to do for their bosses. So those are the 3 qualifications within that field that we offer. So before I just move on to the BBA, what is the difference now between you enrolling on a normal qualification with Chartwell or asking to be RPL'd? The difference is that with an RPL candidate, because you tell us that you have got all this knowledge and all the skill that you have gained over the years through informal or non-formal learning, it means that you don't really need access to learning material. So we do not provide the learning material. We only provide the assessment and the support, the mediation that goes with that to help you through the qualification. So you do not get access to learning material. However, you are more than welcome to Google, go and meet with people, run questions through them. You are more than welcome to do that. But we as a training provider will not provide you with the training material because you're an RPL candidate. You actually know the stuff. You just have to now make it a little bit more formal. The other nice benefit of RPLing, instead of going through the normal route, is it is a shorter period, and also it is cheaper than going through the normal route to get a qualification. So let's go on to the BBA for now. And as I said, I'm briefly touching on the BBA, the degree that we offer. So the degree that we offer has got 4 elective streams. We've got a general stream, we've got property practices. So for example, someone sitting in real estate, they're really interested in getting a degree. They may want to do this degree and then they specialize in the property practices elective stream. We've got the financial services stream. So for those of you who are sitting in the insurance industry or the banking sector and you would like a degree, we then recommend you do the financial services elective stream. And by the way, our BBA degree is recognized by the Financial Services Sector Authority for phase fit and proper. And then we've got the employee wellness elective stream that you can RPL against. So if we just look at the BBA, because this RPL is different to the RPL on the vocational qualifications that I've just been through, the rules to RPL against the degree is that you must be at least 25 years old. So very similar to what the normal universities will say if you want to now access a qualification and you didn't have a matric with exemption. You must at least have 5 years of working or volunteering experience in the particular field. You may not apply for credit in a subject that you've previously attempted unsuccessfully at Charter Business College. And then, of course, we can only allow not more than 50% of the BBA that can be awarded as exemptions. You must enroll and be accepted for the BBA before starting the RPL process. So basically what Simon and his team would do is they would look at your CV, they would look at your matric, for example, and I know that you have to get at least 60% in English to be able to be accepted into the BBA. So for those of you sitting out there, you've got no formal qualification and you want a degree, this is a quick route to get your degree. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's quicker. So you may want to consider going straight into getting a degree, which would be great for you. So if we look at who's eligible for recognition of prior learning, is you must have a good communication skill. So preferably in English, because our business language is English at Charter and I think throughout the country, if not the world. So all our courses are in English, our material is in English, our assessments are in English. So good communication skills is definitely preferable. You must have a minimum of 5 years relevant working experience. So if you want to RPL against a generic management qualification, for example, You must be able to show us that you have been working in a supervisory or team leader or manager position for at least 5 years. You must also preferably still be working in the particular sector. You must be structured and disciplined, and you must be PC literate. And the reason why I say PC literate is because we are primarily an online training provider. So that means that you will get all the materials online. You will also then upload your portfolio for us online, and we assess it online. So everything happens online. So it's very good if you've got good PC literacy skills. When I say that you must be structured and disciplined, very important. As I said, RPL is not always an easy route, okay, because if you do not discipline yourself to sit down and work through your assessment activities on a regular basis, you are not going to get through the qualification. Because remember, with your normal program-based learning, you've got an instructor who's guiding you, who's teaching you. If it's online, we're doing e-tutorials with you. So it's a very structured process. So for RPL, we don't do that. We may meet with you now and again just to see how it's going, if there's anything you're struggling with, but we do not babysit you, if I can use that word, to take you through the process. So you must be structured and you must be disciplined to get through the process. So that are the basic requirements for RPL. If we look at the value of recognition of prior learning, for the employer, there's some benefits. The costs of training are reduced. So in our banking sector, and Chartwell, one of our biggest clients are the banks. So a lot of them are putting their employees through the RPL process because the staff are coming with a lot of experience. So for the banks, the costs are reduced because we are now not charging them for the training material, for all the e-tutorials that we have to do. So it's a much cheaper process for the employer. And obviously, if you're an individual candidate, it would be a cheaper option for you as well. Obviously, for the employer, it's elevating the skill level of the employees because they're now going through some formal type of education. It increases their staff morale because as soon as staff get their qualifications, they're upbeat, they're happy, they're very grateful to the employer for having paid for them to go through this particular qualification and getting some formal recognition. It increases retention levels within a company, and research has shown that the more organizations invest in staff development, the better the staff retention levels are. It also increases the stakeholders' confidence in the organization because they can say, wow, that organization is really investing in their staff to help them to get qualifications, and their staff are so much more qualified. We want to deal with them. So it definitely increases stakeholders' confidence. And of course, it's another avenue for staff development. I mean, in organizations, there's various ways that you can develop staff. You can send them on in-house courses, you can coach them, you can mentor them, etc. So this is just another avenue for staff development. On the RPL candidates side, what is the value to them? As I said, it's a cheaper option. It avoids repeated learning. So people, if there's anything that is so boring, is to go sit in a classroom when you actually know the subject and you've got this facilitator carrying on and telling you about stuff that you already know. People get bored. And in terms of adult learning principles, we have to generally check what it is that learners already know before we actually start a facilitation session. Because to just talk about stuff without getting to know what learners know. That's the first thing where learners start to get bored in your classroom. So if you already know the real estate industry, I'm using that now as an example, you don't want to go sit in a classroom and learn about buy offers and purchases and the Property Act and etc., because you already know this. You've learned this on the job. So you just want to showcase your knowledge and skill to us. So you don't have to go sit in a classroom and listen to stuff that you already know. It will also build your confidence and self-esteem. And I can tell you many stories of people that have been RPL'd and how they've gone on and furthered their careers and done other qualifications. It helps with your career advancement. As I said, that one thing that's holding you back in terms of a promotion in your organization may be the fact that you do not have a particular qualification, but you've got the experience. It helps with professional development. It can meet the relevant industry and licensing requirements. So to go back to the real estate industry and the financial services industry, with all the new legislation that has come in place, there are requirements that they have to have a qualification, they have to have experience, they have to do all sorts of different types of training, like class of business training for the financial services industry. And this can help you meet those licensing requirements. And if I can just give you an example of where I personally was involved in this particular industry, is when the Phase Act was passed in 2004. The previous company that I worked for, the director of that company was also the director of Charter. We RPL'd approximately 7,000 financial advisors against insurance qualifications, because the deadline was looming for them to get a qualification, or else they would lose their jobs. And that was a very fruitful exercise and made our hearts happy, because these people were able to keep their jobs. It's a time saver. As I said, you can complete the qualification sooner. And then, of course, it's a formal recognition of your skills. So that, amongst others, this is the value of recognition of prior learning. If we look at some national achievements, and I'm just looking at the national achievements of statistics that I found for 1998 to 2017, that is recorded on the National Learners Record Database. And these are statistics. And as most people will know, statistics are not always 100% correct, because not everybody reports on what they've done. But if you look at the learners, the number of learners who have achieved one or more qualifications via RPL in this particular period was 30,730 people. The number of learners who achieved one or more unit standards via RPL, we're looking at 78,000 learners. And if we look at the records of achievement, the total qualification achievements through RPL was also in the region of about 34,000. And then you've got total part qualification achievements, about 2,300. And then the number of different qualifications achieved through RPL was 224. So in South Africa, there's a lot of people that do not know about RPL. They sit and they wonder how they're ever going to get formally recognized. And this is the route that they can go to get that particular qualification. So I'd like to just go on to end off with some of Chartle's success stories. And the first thing that I have to tell you is that Dr. Karen Deller, who was our academic director, who is now retired, is an RPL expert. She's world-renowned. She is the guru of RPL in South Africa. She's written quite a few textbooks. And that is why Chartle is very au fait with the RPL process. So we have built what we call an RPL CAT portal, and we built it for the bank sector, for the banking industry, to assist with the RPL of bank employees. And this is a first in the world. Dr. Della received an award in Berlin, in Germany, in May 2019, where she came third in this particular field of expertise. And what this portal does is that because the banking sector in South Africa is so advanced, we are able to check what the learners in-house in their organizations have done, and we have mapped it against unit standards within the banking qualifications. And what then happens is learners then get what we call credit accumulation and transfer, which means that they only then have to do a certain section of the qualification, the banking 4 or the banking 5 qualification, in order to achieve the full qualification. So that is one of our best success stories, I would say. We have helped over 3,000 individuals fast track their careers with qualifications, more than 1,000 in the banking sector. We have capacitated the agricultural sector to RPL farm workers against the plant production and animal production qualifications. So earlier on in my presentations, I told you about mediation, and I'd like to just explain how this was used in this particular project. I was intimately involved in this particular project. And what we did is we went around to all the agricultural colleges in South Africa, and we trained their lecturers as assessors and RPL practitioners. We then assisted them where they went into the farms, and they then helped all the farm workers that had been working on these farms for years to RPL them against these two particular qualifications. And because a lot of these farm workers were illiterate or they didn't speak English well, we also used interpreters to assist with this process. And instead of giving the learners a portfolio where they had to write words, we actually made stickers of fruits and animals so that they could pull off a sticker and stick it into the answer, so that we could see that they understood the process. So many farm workers in South Africa now currently have a plant production and an animal production qualification. And this has assisted them in terms of getting better salaries on the farms, maybe finding better jobs on other farms, becoming farm managers, etc. So that was really a great project that we helped the agricultural sector with. We have also helped Cotlins, and for any of those who are not aware of Cotlins, Cotlins is a baby sanctuary that takes in abandoned babies, and they also have a creche. We built an RPL CAT portal, or we helped them build an RPL CAT portal to assist with the RPL of early childhood development practitioners. So there are many people out there looking after children, working at creches. They come with a lot of experience, and we've assisted Cotlins with this, where they can now take these people and RPL them against an early childhood development qualification. We have also consulted to the Financial Planning Institute and assisted them with an RPL process for professional designations for financial planners and advisors. And I was instrumental in helping the Financial Planning Institute in this, because this is where my expertise lies. So a lot of people in the industry, they've come with a lot of experience, and they want that professional designation of a CFP or a RFP or AFP, certified financial planner, registered financial planner, associated financial planner, because it looks good on their business card. It helps them get better business out there. So I assisted the Financial Planning Institute with a process to help them RPL their financial advisors to be able to write the examinations that would give them those particular designations. And then last but not least, because we've got many success stories, we won a tender with W&R CETA where Dr. Della helped capacitate other providers who wanted to become RPL training providers. So in a nutshell, that is basically what RPL is about. That is what RPL can do for you. And Chartall is here to assist you, to help you to fast track your career. So I'm not sure if there are any questions out in the audience. If you can raise your hand or ask me any questions that you like. Simon, are there any questions?
Hello, sir. Can I ask a question? Hello.
Yes, I can.
Yes,
You're a little
please.
bit. Yes.
Sorry, I'm just trying to get out of my meeting. You're speaking to Madhu. Thank you so much for the information that you shared. I want to find out from you if I've been working in an administrative position
Yes.
for more than 5 years, and I
Yes.
currently am doing the BBA degree, and I started now. Would that
Yes.
still apply to me, or could I try to apply for it?
So have you applied to Chartall to do the BBA degree?
Yes, I have.
Okay. And have you been accepted?
Yes.
Okay. Simon, if you would like to take over there, did you ask to be RPL'd or were you not aware of that option?
I wasn't aware of that option, and then I just got the email last week and the invite to join this, to listen what it was about. So I was like, oh, let me see if it's something that I could do or if I would be accepted to do it. So I would just like to know. And then I also just wanted to find out from you, you said that you would be given assessments. Is this the, what kind of assessments would you be given? Is it like the normal assessments that we do in the degree where you write assignments and all that stuff, or is it based on your work knowledge? What type of assessment is it?
Okay, so if I can just answer the question from a vocational qualification point of view, the person who goes through the normal learning program, so in other words, they register, they enroll, and they want the learning material and access to our the course on our LMS. Their assessments are identical to the RPL candidate. The only difference is that the RPL candidate will not get the learning material. I must also add that the certificate, when you qualify and you get your qualification, there is no difference in the certificate issued to a normal-based learning program person and an RPL candidate. Nowhere on the certificate does it indicate that this was an RPL candidate. The only difference is that the training providers keep statistics of who was RPL'd and who went through the normal learning program for reporting purposes. But the qualification certificate that people get is identical. So that's what I just want to add. From the BBA point of view, if Simon would like to come in and answer that question, Simon.
Yeah, thanks, Marlene, for the question. The answer is yes, you do qualify to apply. The next thing I want to add is for the BPA, the RPL is per subject. So what I can advise you to look at is the BBA curriculum and look at the subjects that are offered at NQF level 5 and 6 and 7. And then if you feel that any of the subjects in the curriculum that something that you have been doing for many years or for more than even 5 years, and you have enough skills or you met all the outcome for that subject or for the subject that you choose, then we can have an RPL for exemption discussion.
Okay, so do I need to send my CV to you guys, or do I just look and say, hey, listen, according to my CV, what I've been doing, I feel like I've got the experience for X, Y, and Z?
You can send the CV, or you can send any other information that you have. And remember, as Anna said, the RPL exemption, even at the BBA level, is you might have some other evidence that is informal learning or some formal learning that you have, and it's aligned to our BBA. For instance, you've done something to do with management, or it's a short course that was an accredited short course you did somewhere, and whether either assessed or non-assessed, if you can be able to share that kind of evidence, then we look at it and tell you, yeah, there is something here that we can explore for an exemption.
Okay, and then who do I send my CV to? Is it you? Or
You can just send to me.
Okay, could you
Yes.
put your email address in the chat
I'll
at the
put
bottom?
just my email, address at the,
Okay, thank you so much.
Great.
Thanks, Marlene.
Thanks, Simon. Are there any other questions from anyone?
Yes, if I may.
Yes.
Good day, Anna, Simon. My name is Graham. So a big portion of what you've explained about the history of people working and not having a qualification, etc., really applies to me as well. I've been in the HR space. I've been in the HR space now for the past 20 years, and I'm currently holding an HR manager position. And I've been a manager 15 years. So I've really been exposed to all the, the elements of the HR discipline, but I don't have a formal qualification. And I saw that Chartel doesn't really offer the RPL, the qualification in HR, but I'm thinking probably that the BBA would be more relevant to me, and I think Marlene has covered some of my questions. So I just wanted to make sure that I understood what your response was. That first of all, you can do an assessment for me, and then by me sending a CV to Simon. That is correct?
Yeah.
Yes. So the BBA faculty, Simon, just bear me out here. They would look at your CV. And then they would determine your experience. And from what you're telling me, it sounds like you've got a lot of experience. So it sounds like you're a really good candidate for that. But Simon, if you would like to add anything, what else would the gentleman have to do?
Yeah, Graham, thank you. Yeah, it's just for you, as you say, what I can see even from the BBA perspective, if you've been doing a lot of work in the HR, we have a subject in HR. The other subject could be the principles of business management, which you've been in that space. This, if you have done anything to do with project management or operations, we have all those subjects in the BBA that they are more management or business management and administrative that you can easily get evidence and get the RPL exemption. So the CV, the start of the CV, then we can start a conversation.
Perfect. I appreciate it. I've done some accredited short course over the years, but not the full formal qualification. You mentioned something, Simon, about the curriculum and the curriculum about the BBA. We should look at it. And I imagine one can find the curriculum on SAQA. Is that correct?
You can find it on SAQA. You can find it on our website under the degree. We have all the fact sheet there for all the elective that's Anne just mentioned here.
All right, perfect.
Yes.
Just one more thing, Simon. Where can I find your email address? You said.
I've just posted it under the chat. Yeah.
Okay.
Or you can also send at bba@chartel.co.za.
All right. I will do so. Thank you for your time. Thank you, Anna, for all the information. It was really insightful.
Pleasure, and great. I hope you sign up with us, and I'm sure you'll make it. You'll whiz through that degree. if you've got so
Just
many years
remember
experience.
something, and just Graham, you mentioned that you have done also some formal, but not complete qualification. So that also can be considered as long as it's been done at higher education level and it's NQF level 5, 6, or 7. It's got an NQF level, and you've already done the assessment and you passed. That is it's the credit accumulation transfer. That's another route that you can also get some credits. That's nothing need to be done. You just submit the statement of results and the curriculum for the subject or the courses that you completed. Yeah.
Perfect. Yes. Perfect. No, thank you, Simon. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Right. Anybody else with any questions?
Yes. Hi, it's Nikki speaking. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I've got 2 questions. Number one, will the recording be made available? The reason for me asking is I'd like to send it on to a few more people that I know for sure is also looking at wanting to call it fast track their qualifications and to better their future.
Yes. Sika, I'm sure we are recording. Am I right? I can't really see from my side.
Yes, you are recording. That's why I'm asking.
Yes. Sorry, I've just got the presentation in front. I can't really see if it's been recorded. Yes, I'm sure we can send you the recording. Okay, next question. That's great. Yes, I would really love this group of people that have joined to really go out there and spread the word, because as I said, a lot of South Africans don't know about the RPL option, and they are thinking it's too expensive to to study or to get a qualification, and you're going to sit in a classroom, and how are you going to get to the venue, etc., whereas we offer all our courses online. So as long as you've got a computer and you're PC literate and you've got some experience and you're structured and disciplined, by all means, please share the word out there.
Awesome.
And your next question?
Yes. Yes, my next question and the last one would be, in my case, for an example, I've got experience in various fields, and when I've done some retrospective inspection of myself, and I have looked at all my qualifications, some accredited and others not, and taking all the years of experience in all the different things that I've done over the years, I was wondering, and this is the question, as to how does one then kind of draw the line in terms of which degree would then suit you best? So to give you just a quick overview, it's like I'm split between logistics and operations, where I have managed a team of people, and then currently a business analyst working in IT.
Okay. And where are you currently working? In which field are you currently working?
In IT.
In IT. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a business analyst. Yes. So my mind is so much split between, like, I'm so strong in both, and I'd like to get my formal degree either in BCom, which, I mean, with my understanding, it covers your logistics and operations and business management. And in some cases, I'm not too sure about you guys, but in some cases, other BComs, they have a touch of, call it business analytics. And then you have, obviously, computer science, which is just...
Okay. Yeah. Okay. What I suggest you do is maybe just email Simon and let him give you some advice as to what to do. But just from Chartwell's perspective, we only offer the BBA degree, which is the Bachelor of Business Administration. So if you were really interested in doing a BCom, then unfortunately we would not be able to help you on that side. But chat to Simon and let's see where Simon can help you. Send him an email and just let him know what it is you would like to do.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, the nice thing about our BBA degree is that it's very much work-based, you know, focused, where a lot of other degrees are very theoretical. But chat to Simon and let's see how Simon can help you.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, is that all? Is that all your questions?
Yes, those are the two. Thank you.
Great, thanks and good luck.
Thank
Anybody
you.
else with any questions? I see there's 3 participants that have raised their hands.
Yes, good afternoon.
Afternoon.
I see Chat all has RPL practitioner course that is online. As I went through the website, do you have this course perhaps on face-to-face?
Sorry, do we have the RPL practitioner course face to face? Was that your question? You broke up a little bit.
Yes, that's my question.
The RPL practitioner. We can offer it face to face if you're interested. If you've got a group of people, obviously we can't do face to face just for one person because that would be very expensive. But if you've got a group of people that would like to do the RPL practitioner, by all means, we can do it face to face. As long as the people who are going to do the course are already competent in the assessor unit standard, because that's a prerequisite to be an RPL practitioner. So that's the basic requirement for that particular course. But yes, by all means, we can offer it face to face. Where are you based?
I'm actually based in Tsumeb, Namibia, but I thought maybe.
In Namibia?
Yes.
Oh, I would love to fly to Namibia. I live in the Western Cape, so I'm sure it will be a very short trip for me to Namibia.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, either here or there. I mean, I'm sure if you guys advertise that you have this course face to face, we can come there, even people from SA.
Yes, but could you drop us an email on the email address that you see on the screen, and just give us an idea of how many people there in Namibia would be interested, and let's see what we can put together for you.
Yeah, I actually don't. I don't have a number of interest from this side. I thought you have there so that I can join a group there.
Oh, okay. At
I
the
have
moment,
the assist, I have moderator, I have the level 5
yes.
CDP. Yeah.
Okay. And you would not consider doing it online?
I could, but yeah, face to face, I just know is quicker than.
Yeah, face-to-face, people are sometimes like face-to-face, but consider doing the online course if we don't come up with a number of learners for face-to-face.
Sure.
And you'll always get support from our ETD faculty head. She's very good in helping people through. So you may want to consider online then.
Okay.
But drop us an email anyway and let us see what we can do for you.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure. Any other questions? I think there's 2 other people that had some questions.
I can also answer some online or type questions on the chat.
Okay. What are the questions, Simon?
I see. Thanks, Carl. Carl has attempted to, or has assisted in answering. I can see Rebecca asking about applying if you've been excluded from another institution. Rebecca, yes, actually for your case, especially if you are in another university and you completed some courses, then you qualify or you can apply for both credit accumulation and transfer, and then you can also apply for the RPL exemption based on your other informal learning that has been going on in your life. Yeah. And then I see a question from not Leslie, that's been answered, recording. I see Heka was asking about how long does it take? Yeah, Carl responded there. It's how long the BBA takes. Well, it all depends with the number of subjects that you get the exempted for, because it could take you a maximum of 3.5, a minimum 3.5 to maximum of 5 years. But if you RPL half, then you could complete within a shorter time, could be less than even 3 years. Yeah. Just checking if another question I missed. Thank you, Dan, for spreading the word. Yeah, I think those are the 2 questions that, yeah.
Okay, great. So those were all the questions,
you.
Simon.
Yes.
Okay, so then there is a poll that has come up. So if everyone could just complete the poll. And thank you very much for attending. And we are looking forward to having everybody enrolling with Chartwell and getting a qualification or spreading the word out to your family and friends. Have a nice day, everybody.
Thank you, Anne.
Thanks, Simon.